Hello no-code fans and welcome to the show. In this mini course we're making this block with no-code website builder, the.com. To create this we'll be discussing key CSS features like sections, containers, headings, spacing, display settings and positioning. Knowing these CSS properties will give you a great basis for building sites with the.com. Now please make sure you sign up to the channel, hit that subscribe button and also check out www.nocodedevs.com for more tutorials. Right, so in this first video we'll be creating this, which is for using the.com. So it's got a title in the middle, it's got a subtitle, and it's got this grid with different elements in it, different containers with different titles in either corner, with this nice cool little border. Right, so to do this I'm going to the.com. Got an empty site here at the minute. What I've created, I'm going to block. I want to create a block, a new block. Call it something slightly different. I'm not going to go new block. I'm going to call it band block. So from here I'm going into this band block, and now so this is your block, this is your wrapper for your block. And what the.com does, it shows all the CSS elements at the side here, so display, margin, all going across. So you go across, they're all there, literally everyone you will need. For the time being I'm going to change this, the name of the block of the wrapper, I'm going to call it block wrapper. You can call it anything you want though. Now if you don't know much about CSS, this video could be quite useful, so we're going to discuss some of these properties here. So the first one we need to discuss is display. What the.com does is when you click on it, it gives you all the options for display, literally everyone. Now, but if you don't know what they mean, it can be quite tricky. For this one, we're going to select block, and what block means is this. This is block. So what block means is the element takes up a whole line of the wrapper, no matter what size it is. So this small element here takes up all line of this wrapper, and again and again. So that is block. On the other side of this is one called inline. And inline, as you can see here, and as you can imagine, all goes in line. So this is the wrapper, this is the container or the div, and it takes up one line. So if one element takes up the entire line, it takes up the entire line, but it will fall in line. We'll be discussing other elements later on in the video, like flex and grid, but for now that's the only two you need to know. So as I said, this is block because obviously we want this block to be on its own. Now we're going to move further across here. We want to put all the elements in the center. So if you click on this justification align items, you can see it comes up with all different sorts. We want to justify this center. Now margin and padding. What these do, something slightly different, and what the.com does really well is if you go over the name of these elements and you can see the little question mark, you click on it and it tells you something about it, what it actually means. So the outer space is for the margin. Now what they're getting at here is something called the box model. Now this is the box model here. So this is the outline border of your element, and what's outside it, as it says, is the margin. So it's pushing other elements away from the margin, from the border. Now padding is something slightly different, but that's inside the border, as you can see, and it's pushing the content towards the middle of the element. It will show here inner space, outer space. So what it does really cool, the.com does really cool, is it gives you some options for it as you click on it. for this element, I'm just going to put 10px standard to standard. Now what we're going to do, we're going to press, now we're going to change the background colour. For this, we could scroll across all the way to the right and find background colour, but what the.com does, and it's really cool, is you press Command and K, and you got the colour palettes. You got a search functionality there at the bottom. Because I've used background colour quite a few times before, it just comes up like that. So I'm going to background colour, and you can put the colour in different ways. I'm just going for this one, I'm just going to write it as black. As you see there, that is it. That is your element thus far. Now I want to create a min height, because the minimum height of this element is all the already bits in. So the min height for this is going to be, as you click on it again, it gives you options. It's going to be 100 VH. Now VH means viewport height. So no matter what device you're on, whether you're on a computer or a phone, it's 100 viewpoint height. So that's it, that's perfect. So for this next bit, what do we need? We're going to need these headings here. So let's go back to our site on d.com. Now we're going to add an element. So this little white button here is add element, and you can see on the top here that gives you some options. You can either type it in like H1, or you can also click on the text bit there. So for this one I just want a H1, which is your big title. I'm going to write in here what I want it to say. It's going to be our text, our band, sorry. Our band's perfect. And here, I'm going to scroll all the way to the left. So I want to make sure it's in here. And now for this one, for the display, I'm going to call it flex. I'm going to leave a marker up here for what flex means. Flex is a relatively new term in CSS. I'm going to put it all to center again, justify the center to center. I'm going to go standard margin and padding again. For font family, I'm going to call it impact. Font size, I'm going to write something new. I'm going to write 40px for it. I'm going to scroll across here. So I think text color is there, and text color I just want it in white. So that's it. That is our title. That is perfect. Our main title. Now underneath that we need to write out subtitle. Text again. For that I want to create a H2. I'm going to type in the text here. Here, perfect. I'm going to scroll across again. The front. Again I'm going to call it flex. So I want this in the middle. Center. Center. Standard again. Standard again. And I'm going to call it a slightly different font. What I do like about the.com, it gives you options again. The.com 20px there, and again white. Perfect. Now below this we're going to create another container again for our grid. I'm going to click on the container, call it div. I'm going to call it slightly different. I'm going to call it grid wrapper. Call it grid wrapper. I'm going to have this as block again. Have it all down the center again. Bit of padding again. Standard. And now in the next video we're going to have this grid and we're going to lay it all out as we need into the grid format like this. So check that out in the next video.